Hey everyone, happy Friday. Welcome to the Anchor in the Light broadcast. My name is Ashley. If you're new here, I am a life coach and I am so excited to be here today. Um, there is so much happening. There's so much happening within the world, there's so much happening within each of us, and it can be very hard to try to decipher between the two. And it can be very hard to navigate that, on our own, and also maybe be the only person in your circle that is feeling certain things or feeling a certain way. Um, and it can just feel very overwhelming at times. So, bringing in the light to our bodies, and light is also information. Light is, truth. Light is all kinds of different on all kinds of different levels. It's so many different things that can affect our bodies. So today, I want to talk about how we are heading for a very peaceful planet. And maybe if you look out, it's kind of hard to see that. And you might be feeling like, Ashley, that's crazy, you know, and things of that nature. But here's some things that might, give you a different perspective. Um, the world is we're currently in two worlds, and we have the 3D world and we have the 5D world. The 3D world is the worst it's ever been, and the 5D world is the best it's ever been, and we're in the middle of those two right now. So that's why there's so much confusion, there's so much chaos, there's so many things that are happening right now because we are moving into the fifth dimension. Whenever we move into the fifth dimension, we have to go through the fourth. We have to leave the third, go through the fourth, and into the fifth. So on that journey, there's a lot of collapsing. There's a lot of just destruction and purging of things within ourselves and within the world. So what's happening right now, on a spiritual level, is just this cleansing process, and I like to call it, kind of the valley of the darkness. And I just did an article on this yesterday. So if you're feeling this, you might want to check that out. That might be very helpful for you. But it's kind of the valley of the darkness where we literally have to feel all the things that we never wanted to feel in order to move forward. So you're no longer able to cover things up anymore, not within the world and not within ourselves. So within the last year, most people have been forced to sit with themselves. They've been forced to, maybe not numb things anymore. And yes, that is, there has been some where it's gone the complete opposite way, and for the majority, it's been a part of you've been sitting there realizing this is not how I want my life to look. I'm not okay with this, or looking for a more fulfilling path, or facing those, maybe deep traumas or fears, and all the feelings that we've had within us. Um, and I know for myself, that's what's personally happened. The beginning of last year was major purging. Like it was almost like it was preparing me, which I know it was preparing me to go through it again so that I could assist others in doing so as well. So my purge began actually right before the whole thing started in March. So it's really interesting how, the universe works in very meticulous ways. So right now, the way that my if you've been here a while, my analogies aren't the best. I'm working on them, and I feel like this one's a little bit better. But the way that the world looks right now, we have so much fear mongering going on, and then we have so much truth coming to the surface, and a lot of people can't handle it. Because we were not taught to handle the truth. We were not taught to handle the truth within ourselves. So if we can't even do that, if most people can't even do that, how in the world are they expected to handle the truth that is coming out into the world right now? No one can expect them to do that. So that's why this has to start on an internal level first before, you can accept other things. Otherwise, cognitive dissonance is just going to be in play all the time. You're never going to be able to be like, look at things objectively and look at things from a free thinking point of, wow, maybe that is true. Maybe I have been lied to my entire life, you know? So the way that it's looking right now, we a lot of people think the dark is still in control, and because of all the fear mongering and all of the things popping up and their plans popping up, and you see it coming to fruition, and people are realizing this is no longer, just some people who thought of, this and said, oh, this is a conspiracy theory, or deemed these people as a conspiracy theorist. Like, that's no longer a thing, because it's right there in front of your face, right? So, um, but what's actually happening is is the light has already won. However, psychologically, that programming from the dark, that 3D mental programming that is so deep, is still in control in a way, for a lot of people. So, regardless of what is coming to the surface and what is being brought to light, they are still operating from that 3D based fear mindset. So, that has to be broken down first. So, basically, what we have here is, think of it this way: we have you have a car, and there's a hill in front of it, and you take out the driver, and you take out all the bolts of the car, and you push it down the hill. What's going to happen? It's going to start to fall apart, right? Piece by piece. As it gains momentum, it's going to fall apart faster. And eventually the whole thing's just going to crash, okay, right? Fall apart. There's not going to be anything left. So that's what we have right now. We have think of all the car parts as dark controlled entities, okay? And which is a lot of things, right? We know that. So we have all of the dark controlled parts of the car, and we took out the driver of all of them, and we took out, maybe some inner workings of the pieces, the nuts and bolts, but there's still pieces, right? There's still pieces that have to kind of fizzle out on their own, because there's, again, that programming that is still holding those things intact. Maybe, a certain group of people believe so much in a certain thing, and they're still, it's still, the momentum is still there, keeping it alive for a short period of time. Of course, that's going to run out, right? The car's going to crash. So what we're seeing right now is, again, psychologically, the dark is still in control in many ways, because of, the people that still are in that programming, but it's fizzling out. And it's coming to the surface because there's no driver's seat. There's nobody in the driver's seat. There's no bolts holding it together. So there's nothing stopping it from falling apart, right? And that's what's happening. There's nothing stopping anything anymore from falling apart. There's nothing stopping the truth from coming to the surface. So yes, it is very dense right now. And yes, it again appears that the dark is in control, and that is exactly why. But again, digging underneath and realizing that there's nothing there. There's nothing there. So again, these things are just coming to the surface and playing out, as much as they can. But as more and more people have more light pour into their bodies, it fizzles out, because there's nothing holding it there anymore, right? It's just an illusion. So as we have so much energy of light coming down to us from above Earth, and then we have all of the things activated inside of Earth, the crystals, all of the things like that. Okay, because this is a purge. This is a purge, right? So everything is activated. So us as humans being on this earth right now, we have the energy of the light coming up from the surface. So if you are, maybe you need to feel grounded, maybe you want to feel very safe and secure, go out and walk on earth. Walk on the ground, go walk on the dirt. And it sounds weird, and it sounded weird to me when I first heard that years ago, and I was like, what? But it makes complete sense, right? You're absorbing that energy, and you're also giving the energy of what you don't want to be transmuted. Same thing upward. I always, almost on a daily basis, give things to my angels and my guides that I want to be transmuted into the light because it's no longer serving me. So as I do that and lift things up and just give it up, whether it be I write it down or I say it out loud, all the things, and I ask it to be transmuted, creates more room in your body for light to pour in. There's so much energy of light coming in to earth right now that we can be susceptible to. And that's why a lot of light workers and empaths within the last week or two have been feeling such huge weird shifts in their body. I know for me, like I had this vertigo feeling for a week at least, and it was driving me insane. And I'm like, what is going on? And it wasn't until I connected with other light workers that I realized that that was a common symptom. And it was just, a symptom of us raising the frequency on earth. What happens is, as these energies come in to earth, light workers and empaths are the first ones to feel them. And that's just because, again, we're open. We have the room in our bodies, to be filled up with more light. So they come in and we kind of step in and stabilize the energy frequency for the rest of humanity so that, it's not so obvious. Maybe it's them. And maybe this sounds weird. Maybe this sounds like this resonates with you. Maybe this sounds like, hey, that happened to me. Um, so there's lots of things at play here. And as that happens, and as we stabilize that new frequency, again, more things come to the surface. So by us doing that, and by stabilizing that frequency and holding that light in our bodies, as more light, that's what a light being is just, and sentient beings basically is just someone that is full of light. Okay, so as everyone raises their light level and decreases their darkness level, the pain, the trauma, the fears, all that's been programmed inside of us, um, it changes the frequency of the planet. And by us, by everyone doing this work, just by you being here on Earth is helping humanity. Because if people are affected by your light, maybe you're someone that maybe you just can go anywhere and anyone will tell you anything. Anyone will walk up to you and tell you their entire life story, and that happens to me all the time. And I used to be confused about it. I was like, why do people do this to me? But then I understood that it makes sense because they just feel attracted and comfortable to your energy, and they feel safe, and for good reasons, right? Um, so, when we think of it that way, we can understand how people right now especially are attracted to um good energy. They want to know something good, right? They want to, and not just something good just to make you feel good, but something truth that resonates with them and makes them feel good. So as we move forward, the more and more people are accepting this light energy in their body. They're accepting it, um and it's creating a peaceful world. We are headed for a peaceful world because of it. It's because of the work that each and every single person is doing. And some will choose not to do it. Um, but you have to focus on your own self and the ones that do. You can't force anyone to heal themselves. You can't force anyone to want to let go of and transmute their traumas. And I'm talking generational trauma, childhood trauma, all the things. There's all these things, right? You can't force anyone to do that because number one, this is their soul contract and their lesson they came here to learn. So the best thing that you can do is be an example. Just be an example and allow them to absorb your energy. I don't mean take your energy. Just absorb it by you maybe being present with them or being in their, mind or whatever, all the things. So, you know, um, and let go of everything else. Let go of anything that feels like, maybe people are attacking you because, you are vibrating so high, and they're not attacking you in a way because you're attracting them, but just because they fear your energy. Because there's such a big contrast between your energy and their energy, and you can see that just with all the censorship and everything happening. Like I just got a notification that a lot of my YouTube videos were deleted again. So, There's a lot of things going on right now that um, are because we are vibrating so high and our light is so dominant. So that's why we are heading for a peaceful planet, because humans are becoming more peaceful, right? We are no longer mostly, you know, the numbers are growing in people that are not able to be influenced by, the illusion of separation, the illusion of division, all of those things that, we can't, whenever you vibrate so high and you have so much light in you, you're not able to be subjected to the victimhood programming that is available out there, that is constantly being thrown at people, to create those divisions and to create those divides, right? We're not able to be subjected to that anymore. Um, and that right there shows you how peaceful the world is going to become, because more and more people are saying, no, I'm not buying, I'm not buying the entitlement package anymore. I'm not able to be programmed like a victim anymore. I'm a sovereign being. I'm a sovereign being just like everyone else. And because we are taking that I am sovereign presence, it's shifting everything. It's shifting everything, and we are moving forward. So as we go, we are we're going to see, yes, there's going to be some chaos. Yes, there might be some, what we've been feeling lately, of course, because again, we are shifting from that 3D to the 5D. We're going through it. Okay. But we have to focus on what we can do within ourselves for the best outcome. And sometimes that's just being without being who you think you should be, who others want you to be. Focus on you, and just anchoring that light in your body. So I am so glad to be here today to be able to chat with you guys. I love these Anchor and the Light broadcasts. Um, so yeah, I hope this resonated with you guys. And again, if it did, check out that latest article on my website, the limitlessmomempire.com. It's under blog. Um, and I will be back later in the week to share some other things. And of course, if you guys have any suggestions, I'm thinking about doing a Q&A session soon. So where I'll help you guys submit your questions, and then I'll answer them for you to the best of my ability. So you guys have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you guys soon.